to keep it,
I keep about 20 racks inside the lamb truck, a nigga sliding, dog. I just put 20 racks on his head, the young nigga sliding, dog. I get a bag to double it. All of that talking ain't adding up. These niggas calling the peace tree. Bitch, I been turning the static up. Nigga, I'm turning the savage up. Bentley Rolls Royce in the fleet. Ay, I bet that cannon got reach. I still keep it under the seat. I pop them rubber bands for a living. I might keep the racks in the mink. And I got Fiji on me. She mistake my paddock for the sink. I was in Dallas at V-Live. Honeycomb settings in the chain like a beehive. He say he want a static with a nigga. Seen him in the streets. He ain't tryna be back.
Hot seat with Icy Jones. 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 Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Icy Jones, and you are now locked and tuned into my show, Hot Seat with Icy Jones, every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. on hot702.5fm.com. What's going on? It's your boy Icy Jones. We in the building. You already know what it is, man. Hot Seat with Icy Jones every Thursday. New time slot, 12 p.m. West Coast time. You know, that's Pacific Standard Time. We in the building, you understand? And, man, we're going to have some fun today. Deacon T is not with us today. He got some work to do. But his better half is in the building today. We got Lady Kim Moore in the building today. And, man, we got some topics for y'all to discuss. We're going to get a little bit into her life and how she's the backbone to the man that we call Deacon T. We're going to get into the topics I've been talking about on Facebook as well, and just some other things, man. Today, my grandfather, Bishop Herman Ishmael Jr., would have been 89 years old. You know, we laid him to rest last Tuesday, and I'm just so thankful for his life, man. He almost made it to 9 decades, I believe. Yeah, so, you know, 88, it's good. And grandfather, we love you. You will forever be honored and well respected, you know. And yeah, man, so 2020, it's a beautiful day. Man, and so welcome to Thursday, Hot Seat with Icy Jones. Man, I'm excited because this show, man, it's my year celebration. You know, Black History Month. Last year I started the show on Hot 702.5. They welcomed me to the Hot Team, and so we celebrating all month long. And I thank all of my listeners from the actual site, the radio station site, hot702.5fm.com. Thank y'all for listening all over the world. You know what I mean? And a special shout out to those who listen to me that are right here in Las Vegas, Nevada, my birthplace where I was raised. You know, thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody on Facebook, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for listening to your boy and watching me on social media. Also, thank everybody for sharing. You know, when you share, it just makes the world go around, man. It makes my day. I'm extremely happy that you guys hit that share button and tune in, you know. Also today, if you like to call in and talk about what we got going on today, you definitely are more than welcome to hit the hotline. That's 702-551-5261. That's 702-551-5261. Let me slow it down. 702-551-5261. Make sure you call in, holler at us, talk to us. You know what I mean? And, man, if you like to sponsor my show and also our Friday show, that's My Rap Mentor, definitely, get with us. We got some beautiful sponsorship packages, 1 month, 3 month, and 6 months to sponsor, and your commercial ad will be running on our shows. Also, if you like a live remote where Hot 7025 comes to your business and get litty over there, we can make it happen. We come with our DJ and our equipment, and if you want Icy Jones to come host it, you'll get a radio personality, but it could be me, and we're gonna come to your establishment, and we're gonna get litty. We're gonna invite everybody out, you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna talk about your business. If you got discounts, you know what I mean, we're gonna make it happen. So live remotes are available, so please holler at us, get with us, let us know what's up. And yeah, man, so I'm waiting for y'all to get with us on commercial advertising, sponsorship, so we can tell our listeners and our viewers about your business, regardless of where you're at on the map. We got listeners there. Man, I just got my numbers, and I got 15,104 listeners. You understand? It's going up in a major way. And that's just on my show. That is not My Rap Mentor. We're going to get them numbers shortly. And when we combine them, it's going to be crazy. The station alone has 1.2 million daily listeners. You understand? So just having a percentage of that is amazing. So, I'm just thankful for all you guys that tune in, that are subscribed, and watch us on any social media, from YouTube all the way on to Facebook. So again, get with us. Let me know. Inbox me, DM me. Just holler at me. Let me know what's up. If you got my number, call me personally. Let's make it happen, man. Let's share our platforms with each other. If you need an interview, reach out to me, let you know how that happens. You definitely will become a sponsor in that area as well. So, we just want to make it happen, man, and keep these things moving and grooving. I also found out that African Americans spend $1.4 or $1.7 trillion consuming products annually. That is insane. We are in the top, okay, of consumers in America alone. Over $1 trillion. That is a lot of power if we spent it on the right things, or if we spent it with each other. You know what I mean? In our own communities. That's not to say that you don't support other communities or whatever the case may be, but we know how, other cultures get down. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not afraid to say that, we should be spending our money with each other, and we shouldn't be, what? How much is that? Oh my God, what? I don't know about that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on now. Like, what really? Walmart, Target, McDonald's, Jack in the Box. We're not them. Some of us may own those franchises. It's still a franchise. But at the same time, we have our own businesses here as well. You know what I'm saying? And we're just asking that you guys support and hold us accountable as well. So some of that should be spent in the right areas for the right things, and just have power. Money equals power in some instances. You feel me? We all know, though. Well, I know. I know Dave knows. I know Lady Kim knows. The highest power comes from God. You understand me? So, but when we hear talking about the physicalities of things, man, $1.7 trillion is a lot of money that we're not keeping in our own hands. Another situation is that the dollar, the black dollar, lasts 6 seconds in our community before it leaves. 6 seconds.
Wow.
6 seconds, and then it's gone. So let's try to keep that dollar in our community a little longer than 6 seconds. Let's go for 60 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Man. So again, let's keep our power, all right? So let's get into this show. Everybody, I want you to welcome Lady Kim Moore in the building.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Nice sunny day.
It is.
Kind of rough on the expressway getting over here. Shut down because we have a guest in town.
And yeah. If you don't know, 45 is in the building. He's in Vegas right now, and yeah, I mean, do what you will, do what you please. So everything's good in your world, though.
Everything's good in my
Outside
world.
of the expressway,
Yeah, no complaints whatsoever.
no complaints.
I woke up this morning. It's all good.
Absolutely.
Yep.
100 to that. So for those of you who watch my show, and for those of you who haven't been here yet, I do a segment called Deacon T's Hot Topic. And about 10 minutes before the hour is up, Deacon T come through with some words of encouragement, words of knowledge, words of wisdom, and he drop it on us every time, and it's beautiful. And he can't be here today, but we got to fill in, right? But at the same time, she's my special guest today.
Thank you.
And what I wanted to talk to her about is a few different things, and we're going to get into that right now. So my first question is, how is it being the wife of a pastor?
You know, it's really the first time I've been asked that question. As a matter of fact, I have so many friends who tease me about that.
Word.
You know, they call me like, oh, now you're the first lady. And it's like, well, in the words of a really good friend of mine, she said, who is a pastor's wife in Michigan, she told me, she said, never let them tell you that you're the first lady. You got to tell them that you're the only lady. So I'm the only lady. You know why she said that? Because if you're the first lady, that means it would be a second or third one. So, you know, it is a little different,
Right.
because in old school terms, you know, we didn't necessarily call it the first lady, but my father was a pastor.
Okay.
And so my mother was a, quote, first lady for years and years and years. So I guess I basically try to emulate her, the things that she did, the standards that she set, the graciousness that she had, you know, towards our congregation. So it's a little different for me on Sundays, but, you know, basically I just be who I am. I just be myself. I don't have all this ceremony and any set standards. I just be who I am, you know, and I think that they appreciate that more because it's kind of like more real, you know.
Modern Word Ministries,
Modern Word.
For those who don't know, every Sunday inside Encounter Church, that's 237 North Stephanie, out in Henderson, 2 p.m. service. That's dope, you know. Now, even when you guys were at the McDonald Ranch Community Center, right? It was still 2 o'clock.
Yes.
Was that a discrepancy in time of scheduling, or you guys chose 2 o'clock?
We chose 2 o'clock mainly because we have made a commitment to try to pull more millennials into the church.
Okay.
And we know realistically they party on Saturday nights. You know, they don't want to necessarily get up early. And so we picked that time slot so to give them a chance to get up, get going, hear a really good modern word. We also picked that time because we do have friends that belong to other churches, and this gives them a chance to, we're not trying to fleece other churches.
Gotcha.
This gives them a chance to go to their service and then get some extra message in the afternoon.
Right.
So it's so far, it's working for us, and it doesn't go on all day. It's an hour long, maybe an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And thank you so very much for supporting us.
Absolutely.
You and your family.
Absolutely.
And it's just it's something that I honestly look forward to going to. You know, it's interesting because with my dad being a pastor, we had a fairly good sized church in Chicago.
Okay.
I, believe it or not, I would go into his office, home office, and he'd be, for lack of a better term, rehearsing his sermon for the next day.
Right.
And I would go there and I would listen to it. And I don't know how I got this gift, but I could memorize his entire service.
Wow.
So the next day at church, if we were fidgeting, you know, we were PK kids, okay? So, you know, our mother would turn around. If she heard any noise, you'd see her head turn slightly, and you knew she was looking at you, so then you'd sit forward. And I would tell my sisters and brothers that, don't worry, he has about 10 minutes left. Because I knew exactly where he was. in the service. So we picked and I had to do church all day.
Yeah.
8:00 service, then Sunday school,
Yeah.
then 11:00 service, and then if a member invited us over, then we had to go have dinner. And we were little kids fidgeting, and it's like, okay, now when's this going to be done?
Right.
So 2:00 kind of works for me too, because I still like to go out
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. and get a chance to sleep in.
That's right.
Right.
Definitely.
So, when it comes to Modern Word, was that something you guys, huddled up and said this is what it's gonna be, or is it something that came to Tom or you? How did that work out?
Modern Word came about. I knew Tom wanted to deliver a different kind of message. And to be quite honest with you, you guys see him every Thursday. He wanted to name the church Keeping It Real Ministry.
Which we have one. We have
Oh.
one, Keeping It Real Ministry.
Okay, well, he wanted to do that, Keeping It Real.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know that. And I was like, no, you deliver more of a modern type of message. And that's how we came up with Modern Word. I wanted it to be something that my age group, baby boomers, Generation X, millennials, they could all relate to. And that's what we try to do more in the
Yeah.
church. Give it so that it's not the these and the thous and thus,
Yes.
but just so that you could understand it in today's vernacular.
Absolutely.
So we do it like that.
Absolutely. Now, did you ever see yourself being a pastor, knowing that your father, was a pastor and had a church, and you can memorize those sermons, right?
I
Did you
never saw
think-
myself like that. No.
No?
I never saw myself as married to a pastor. Now, let me tell you this. I never saw my husband as a pastor.
Right.
Let's start right there.
Okay.
Tom he was raised Catholic
Okay.
from preschool all the way through college.
Okay.
So he went to Catholic schools. I was raised Lutheran, similar type services and everything, and I went to Lutheran schools. And so as not to offend, they were just kind of like boring. They were so ceremonial. Actually, we were baptized Episcopalian, so it's kind of like all on the same line.
Yeah.
So when Tom, but I always stayed with the church. I always went to church, no
Okay.
matter what.
Okay.
Even when I kind of got away from those, from Lutheranism,
Yeah.
I always went to church, and I found myself more. People have certain things in church that they like that really moves them, and for me, I love the music ministry.
Yeah.
So the songs really move me.
Right.
Not so much the hymns,
Yeah.
but the songs that we have. So I found myself drawn more to the Pentecostal
Yeah.
type church.
Yeah.
I remember when I was little, we had an old aunt that back then they would call her a spinster. 50, had never been married. I never even saw her with a boyfriend. But she took me and my sisters and brothers and my cousins to church every Sunday. And we went to the church when we were staying with her. We went to the church and they had the white uniforms on, the nurses. So as children, you'd see people falling all out in the church, and we were definitely frightened.
Right.
We were really scared. It's
Of
like,
course.
oh my God, you know how that is. And so now when I go to church, and when I got more involved in the Pentecostal church, you see the runners and you see people standing up and everything,
Yeah.
but it's very moving to me.
Okay.
Because, and particularly during songs,
Right.
you would hear them. So I went to church with my kids every Sunday, and I could not get Tom. Let's start there. I could not get Tom to go to church with me.
Yeah.
And one time we had something semi-catastrophic happen that we got over. And I remember Tom came home and he said, Kim, I don't know what we're going to do. Loss of a job.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do. And I remember I was reading and he was so distraught. And I looked at Tom and I said, Tom, you never know how much you need God until God is all you got. So he looked at me and he says, but what do? I said, you pray. And he said, pray. I said, go in the closet. We're good for going in the closet to pray. I said, go in the closet and I have a chair in there. I said, just sit on the chair and just start talking. So he did. And when when you feel desperate, you kind of do things that you're told. So he went in there and he prayed. And I told him, and this was on a Thursday, I said, I have 3 churches that I visit. And I didn't tell him the one that I really went to more than the other one. I wanted him to get the experience and pick out a church. So first we went to a church, in the church at Row down in or D Street. We went to a church, and literally when we walked in, his arms were shaking. He was shaking. He was afraid, and then the tears flowed. And on his own, he got up, and they had an altar call. He got up, he grabbed my hand, and we went to altar call. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting somewhere. This is the first church.
Yeah.
We went to the second church, and he absolutely loved it. And I was kind of happy because that's the church that I went to all the time. Okay?
There you go.
And I'm telling you, I never said anything to him. He just picked that church.
Yeah.
And we never made it to the third church. And he became an adult Sunday school teacher. You know what he does. He does design. So he fixed up the church. He did everything. They approached him to be a deacon. He went to the deacon classes, and he loved it. He loved that church, and he was really into it. He was running a little Halloween party, and he came to me one day. He said, there is a deacon wives club. And I was like, Deacon Wives Club. So he said, Kim, you really ought to check it out. So I went, and honestly, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't join it. I worship and praise God the way I want to, and it really wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And he didn't berate me for it or say, you really ought to do this. He just wanted me to check it out. I did, and it just wasn't my thing.
Right.
And he became entrenched in the Word. And we ended up leaving that church and going to a smaller church that was an offshoot. And he became the armor bearer. And I'm not kidding you guys. Tom can quote that Bible inside out. You can be talking to someone, and then they'll give you this Bible quote. And you're like, how did they do that? Well, he can do that.
Yeah.
So he came from 0 to 100 in,
Real
I would
quick.
say, yes. So now when I listen to him pray at Modern Word, you've been there, I see. We do a prayer to a beautiful instrumental song. And first time he tried that on me at home, praying and then the song. And a lot of times when you pray and you're listening to prayer, your mind wanders.
Yeah.
That's just how we are. It's like, oh
Right.
God, I got to remember what I'm cooking tonight or whatever.
Yeah.
And it captivated me. And it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
It just did it.
Yeah.
I got very emotional about it. And so I said, you got to do this at church. It's working. So we do it every Sunday.
Right.
And I really, really like it.
Yeah.
And the role that I play now, because Tom is really into this, I got into it. And I do have my role. I have to make the copies in the morning.
Yeah.
I got to do certain things.
Yeah.
And Sundays have become something that I truly, honestly look forward to
Right.
every Sunday.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is an amazing story, though.
Yeah.
For him to do that. Now, how long you guys been together?
30 years, married 29.
So you guys got married a year later?
Well, no, I just knew him. Okay, now. Don't judge me on this.
Talk to me.
Tom hired me at a major corporation. He hired me.
Okay.
And I had to move from Chicago to New York.
Okay.
And he was my boss's boss.
Oh.
We had a mutual friend who had introduced us, professionally. And she told me, she said, Kim, I got, Tom Moore. He said he just told me, this is all before, don't get upset, the Me Too movement. But he told,
Okay.
he told me, he said, she told me, she said, Tom said that you're really easy on the eyes. You ever heard that term? You're really easy on the eyes. And I was like, ugh.
Right.
I said, yes, 3 things that are wrong with him. And
Okay.
she's like, what? I said, he's short, he's bald, and he's white. Girl, I don't do white dudes. I'm just being real honest
Yeah,
with you.
please do.
Do you know she
Hot
went back
seat.
and told him that?
Okay.
So now, of course, I find out years later that was a challenge.
Okay.
It's a challenge for him.
Yeah.
So we were at a big sales meeting at Atlantic City, and I just thought he was nice. He was cool.
Yeah.
And, I was in an industry where there weren't a lot of women transportation.
Okay.
And, so only people I could hang out with at work were the guys. I would hang out with the guys. I would hang out with the brothers.
Yeah.
And the thing we noticed most about him is that he used to dress just like a brother. You know how brothers wear the belts that match their. This is back in the day when they were wearing suits to work, okay?
Right.
They matched his shoes. If he had on burgundy shoes, he had on a burgundy belt. He had French cuffs. And I was like, this white dude is
You
pretty
fly.
sharp.
Okay.
So it was one of those. And then we're at this meeting, and he he just started talking to me, and I just thought off the record, off the work thing, I just thought he was a really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
And then we got invited to a party in Dallas.
Yeah.
By then he had left New York City and had moved to Dallas to corporate. And the same girl, a mutual friend, she had a birthday party. She had a big birthday party. She invited me. I went.
Yeah.
The first night I get there, we go to a club. Everyone's lined up in all these cars, and I look around. I'm standing out. I don't have a car to get into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was all planned.
Okay.
So he had a 2-seater car. So I get in the car, and I was like, oh, but he was nice. Get in the car. But I noticed on the radio, he was playing the Whispers. So I'm like, this isn't crossover. This isn't Whitney Houston and, Janet Jackson and none of this. This
Right.
is. And then right after that, the Dells come on. So I'm like, okay, so he just likes music. I ended up finding he just likes all genres of music. That's just his thing.
Right.
About a couple of weeks later, he invited me to New York. He was going to be up there for work. And I said, I can't come up there because you have mandated. I was the area general manager for this company. I said that we work on the weekends. That's where our customer base is. So I can't come to New York. And he said, oh, yeah, I get it. Well, then my boss calls me about 30 minutes later. He says, Tom Moore wants all the area general managers on the East Coast to come to the city on Friday for a meeting. And I was like, what? Then I get a call from him. I guess I'll see you in New York this weekend. Okay.
That's
That
called
was game, huh?
pull.
All right.
That is pull. Pull. All caps.
Yes. And I went to New York, and it was a fabulous, fabulous weekend. It was a Cinderella weekend, honestly. It was
Word.
whatever that movie was that Julia Roberts was in. But anyway, it was a
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. It was a Pretty Woman. And I wasn't like quite that low, but
Right,
but you know what I mean.
I see
But
what you're
anyway,
saying.
it was
Yeah.
a beautiful weekend, and that was July 21st, the weekend of July 21st, and the dates are real important.
Yeah.
And we got married September 18th.
Wow.
So 6 weeks later, we were married, and we were in different cities. Of course, he got me out of New York, transferred me to Baltimore. He was in Dallas, and I didn't want to tell corporate that we were married.
Yeah.
Because it was a black-white thing, and
Yeah.
you just don't know how people will react.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's not working for me," and he did, and so here we sit, 29 years later.
So what is that? That's the early 90s.
91, 90.
Okay.
My son is 90. He's 89, so it was 91. Another thing, Tom never wanted any children, and I had taken guardianship of my great nephew. That's how he got me in Atlantic City. He said he knew I had a kid, so he started talking about children. When people, I have pictures, a lot like that. And when we got married, we had a big reception in that following February, and we officially adopted our son together.
Okay. That's Michael?
That's Michael.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's your great nephew?
That's my niece's. She was in college.
Yeah.
Got pregnant.
Yeah.
Asked me if I'd take him. I said, but I got to do it legally. We get mad and say I'm coming to get my baby.
Yeah.
Wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And so then Tom and I, she let us adopt him.
Wow.
So he is now 30.
Right.
He'll be
right.
31 in a couple of months. So
Did you ever go through issues being with a white man?
the two of us did not, but we lived in Dallas, Texas in the early 90s. And we got a couple, I can think of a couple of instances where it was really pretty bad. Our son and I, he kept saying, why do you keep saying my son? But our son and I, we went to Dallas to live with him. And Tom took Michael, who was 2 at the time. He took him to Mrs. Fields Cookies. And I can be very candid with this story,
Yes,
right?
Please. Hot seat with Icy Jones.
Okay, perfect. And they were standing in line, and there's another white guy behind Tom. Michael is looking at the cookies in the case.
Yeah.
And the white guy thinks because you look like me that we have the same thought pattern. So he says, Tom, and I'd never heard this term before. He said, whose little porch monkey is that?
Wow.
Well, Tom. Didn't sit well with him at all.
Tom.
So he just picked up the guy and put him on the counter.
Oh.
And of course they called security and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the security comes, and the security guy happens to be a brother.
Okay.
So they're in handcuffs, both of them.
Yeah.
And so they asked Tom, well, what happened once they get in the little room?
Yeah.
And he says, well, he called my son a porch monkey. And the guy, the security guy said, unhooked his handcuffs. Said, "Okay, brother, I'll see you later." Don't ask me whatever happened because we don't know about
Right,
that.
right.
So we had that, and then when a club we were in, listen, I'm a big jazz lover, and we were at a jazz club, and we were trying to get in between the seats. The woman let me in so I could get on the other side of her, and the guy wouldn't let Tom in. And he's like that. We basically don't belong there, and people could hear him. And manager came over, big thing, but they put them out,
Right.
and we stayed.
And
And
let y'all- yeah.
but that really was it.
Yeah.
We didn't have any other issues.
Right.
Especially we moved out west. We've been in Vegas for 27 years now,
Okay.
and none whatsoever. So
None.
it's all good.
And you guys now have 2 adopted daughters.
Yes, all 3 of our children are adopted. Michael, like I said, is 30. Carly is 24. And just recently, it'll be a year in March, that we adopted our youngest daughter, who is now 17. Interesting about her, we got Michael I got him as an infant. We got Carly together as an infant. And Oriana, I was scot-free. I was going to be, what do
Yeah.
they call when the kids leave out?
They grown
Empty nester.
nesters.
And about 18 months ago, we were going to a funeral, Tom's nephew's funeral. Unfortunately, he's 23 years old. He took his own life.
Oh, wow.
And we were leaving for Cincinnati later on in the day, because we usually leave very early, going back east. And I was packing. And I turned on the news. I don't watch the news all the time, but I turned on the news, and they had a program on the news called Wednesday's Child.
Okay.
And I had never heard of Wednesday's Child.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay, see, so I wasn't the only one. I'm so glad to hear you say that. And they featured a 15-year-old girl.
Okay.
And I was looking at her, just me. Tom was at work. And I said, my God, who could just leave this kid like this? She was very articulate.
Yeah.
Had a great little spirit, you could tell. Fast forward, we get to Cincinnati. We're driving to the funeral the next day, and I tell Tom that I saw this little girl. I'd seen this child on TV. And so I said, for some reason, she just got to me.
Yeah.
And I showed her, I said, I'll pull it up on YouTube. And I did. We watch it, and he's sitting there, and he's like got little tears. He's getting teary. He said, are you going to look into it? I said, well, no, I was just saying this is so unfortunate about this kid. But it wouldn't leave me.
Yeah.
And when it wouldn't leave me, I knew it was God talking to me.
Okay.
And if you've never heard God talk to you, it's awesome. It's unbelievable. So when my girlfriends would say, you're crazy. And I would say, well, no, I'm honestly, God told me to do this.
Yeah.
And I just know it with everything I have that he did. Anyway, we started the process that summer. I called, and I wanted to get out of it, honestly.
Yeah.
I was not interested in doing this.
Yeah.
They told us to take 9 months to a year. And I was like this, I got out of it. I'm not waiting for 9 or 10 or 9 months to a year to adopt a child.
Yeah.
Then she called me back, the lady, and said, but if you go private, you could do it in 3 months.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, I hear you.
Okay, God.
I hear you. We went private.
Yeah.
We didn't meet her until September. We had started this process the end of May, 1st of June. We met her in September, Labor Day. She came to visit us. We got to take her out to lunch that day. We didn't know anything about her.
Right.
They tell you once you've passed all these background checks
tests,
and everything. And they didn't tell us anything good about her.
Yeah.
They told us everything. She was an older child.
Yeah.
She'd been in 26 placements.
Yeah.
She had some mental issues. And this is what her workers were telling us. And Tom was getting angry because he felt like the system had let her down.
Yeah.
And I made the decision. He asked me, what did I want to do? I said, I can't do it. I didn't want to do it. She had too many issues.
Yeah.
Then God, and I'm not just saying this, I'm very serious about this. He said, didn't you hear them say to call her therapist?
Yeah.
When I was driving. So I called Tom to get the number for the therapist. And she said, can I be 100 with you? And I knew then this was a sister.
Yeah.
And she had a few choice words for her workers and everything. And she said, can we have dinner?
Yeah.
So we went to dinner. She explained everything that was going on. And the way she explained it, if you had been through this, wouldn't this be your reaction too? And I called the workers back the next day and said, we're going to do this. And they were like, you're kidding. She's really hard.
Yeah.
You know her, so you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
And we met her Labor Day weekend. That Friday, we took her to lunch. We were going to take her back. She was so upset. She didn't want to go back, and she has never left my house. That's 18 months ago.
Wow.
You know, and we did a full adoption. We were legal last March 5th.
Yeah.
And we had a great guy, a newscaster, Reed Cowan. He does Wednesday's Child.
Okay.
He is following her. So when we got to the adoption, they had called us the night before. They wanted to do a story on the adoption.
Right.
And we asked Oriana if she wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And she said yes, because I think people need to be aware
Yes.
that you should adopt older children.
Yes.
And we got down to the courthouse, and it was news media everywhere.
Everywhere.
All the way into the courtroom,
Wow.
all the way till she was pronounced, had our last name.
Yeah.
And very, very emotional for us.
Yeah.
And it was interesting enough. Now, that was a year. It'll be a year that we were legal. They did great. The news does end of the great stories at the end of the year, stories that moved them. And they did her story again,
Hey.
New Year's Eve. So I advocate a lot for older children.
Okay.
You know, and Lord knows I did not want to do
Yeah,
this, you know,
yeah.
but I got her. And like Tom told me, he said, it wasn't about you.
No.
God knew that she needed you,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not challenging now, guys. You know, I got a 17-year-old,
Yeah.
you know, teenagers are just kind of strange,
Right.
you know, but she is, she's thriving. She's loved. And I would encourage people to kind of take a look at them and don't believe everything you hear.
I want to commend you
Yeah. Thank
for being
you.
obedient to God.
That's right.
I want to commend Tom as well for, just pushing you a little bit on that thing.
Yep.
I want to commend the therapist for keeping it 100
That's
with you.
right.
You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? And Reed Owen for sharing the story,
Yeah.
because that system is so wild,
Flawed. Oh, my God.
right?
Oh, my God. Yes, it is.
My co-host and founder of My Rap Mentor was in foster care for a while, and then my new booking agent, she was in foster care as well.
Really?
And so I got a mentee. Shout out to Madera, he was in foster care as well, and
And
all
they
three
made it.
of them, they made
And
it.
they made it.
But all three of them told me how horrible
Yeah.
it is and was, and they will literally cast a mental illness on you or
Oh,
something
yeah.
to get an extra check.
Yeah, my daughter was in a mental facility 3 times. And one of the times she learned how to draw because you can't go to school. She's been to so many schools. You can't go to
Wow.
school, so she taught herself to draw.
Yeah.
She can play the piano by ear.
Word.
She was a standout lacrosse player. She told me that the last time she went is because one of the kids stole a nice white suit that an uncle had given her,
Yeah.
or that she had bought with the money, her little stipend.
Okay.
But no one admitted to stealing it. And then she saw the girl's suit up under her bed, and it was filthy dirty. She said she was so mad that she took a tube of toothpaste and put it on the girl's clothes. They got her 30 days
Yeah.
in a mental home.
Right.
You know, and
How you gonna give a person 30 days?
and you're 13.
Yeah.
You're 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know, it's really sad. And I mean, we really need more families. And you don't have to be married. You know, we need more families to step up, you know, and take care of these kids.
Yeah.
When I look at her now, she's been homeless. She's lived on the top of hotels. Wow. You know, it was a really, really bad situation. And I look at how that young girl persevered.
Yes.
And you know what she told me? Now she goes to the church. Of course, she's in church.
Yeah, yeah.
So she said, "Mom, you know, okay, Oriana." She said, "You know, you two are a little older." She said, "So you're going to need somebody to take over the church."
Yeah.
And I said, "We will." I said, "We'll get across that bridge." She said, "I'm taking over the church." And she was very, very serious
Very
about that.
adamant.
When you see her pray, she does all the opening prayers and offertory prayers.
Yes.
She asked to do that. I didn't tell her she had to do that.
Right.
She asked me if she could do that.
Right.
And, you know, we were kind of worried about her coming into our home. The other two were babies.
Yeah.
Non-issue. But we were worried about her coming into our home. It's like, she doesn't know us, you know, how's she going to respond? But it was exactly the opposite. She's used to going into different homes.
Yeah.
So we had to make the adjustment. She's like, oh, okay, it's just another home, you know. But we have had to teach her, help her to understand how much we love her, how much we're rooting for her, how successful she is going to be.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I see, You know, she really, really wants to be a DJ.
Oh, okay.
She has a controller. She has
Yeah.
all that, and
Yeah.
and she is and I don't let her do this often
Yeah.
because I've got to get her grades up. Be
Okay.
keeping it real.
Okay.
She can play those video games tournament style.
Word. Oh,
She
she could
is-
be a YouTube star.
Yes, and that's what she wants. I said, when you get good grades, just give them to me for a quarter. Then I'll know you're on your way.
Right.
Then maybe do that. But I got to
Right.
do the disciplinary thing
Yeah,
too.
of
I'm not
course.
just giving you everything. You know, just
course.
because you didn't have anything, you're not just getting everything.
Of course.
You know, but
Learn
she's
how to earn.
That's right. Learn how to earn. You know, she's a sweet, and she's just a sweet kid.
So
Yes,
why should people, millennials specifically, come to Modern Word Ministries?
I think they should come to Modern Word because they can relate to the message. I don't even like to call them sermons. I like to call them messages. Tom has taught me so much about the Bible in modern terms.
Okay.
You know, so that I can understand it. He relates the story that is in the Bible, but he brings it to you so that you can understand it.
Yeah.
And that's me included, not just the millennials. There's a lot that I needed to learn about it too.
Right.
Because we were so used to ceremony.
Yeah.
But when the millennials come, number one, it is a totally non-judgmental church.
Okay.
You know, we don't have a praise team yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking for singers, just so you guys know. I'm looking for praise singers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They're looking for praise and worship team.
that's
you
right.
Know what I mean?
And who play instruments. Everything's there.
Yeah.
So we play songs that I pick
Yeah.
every Sunday, and
I know one of his favorites is Tasha Cobbs.
that's his favorite artist of all time, Tasha. Tasha, you're his favorite artist of all time, for real.
For sure.
But you know what I do? I've even found some secular songs that I think fit what millennials need to hear. Like I played Whitney Houston last Sunday. You know, "Run to You." I look to you. You know, there's so many songs that, and you, all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah, that is, you know, because
Right.
it does speak about God.
Right.
I think that they will see that number one, you can wear blue jeans, gym shoes, shorts, flip flops.
Yeah.
You can roll out of bed like that. We don't
Yeah.
care. You can drink your Starbucks or whatever it is that you do. Bring your water in and you sit down. You know what, Tom? I told him this the other day. Modern Word reminds me of having a modern day fireside chat. It's very, very
Intimate.
Intimate.
Yeah.
It's very, very intimate.
Absolutely.
And you can feel what he feels. Interestingly enough, you know, Tom's having some back issues, right?
Yes.
When he goes to church, does it look like it?
No.
It's like the Holy Spirit comes over him.
Yes.
He's standing up straight,
Yes.
or he's sitting down comfortably.
Yes.
And I look at him sometimes with total admiration, not just because he's my husband,
Right.
but that he gets up he's so vigilant about
Every
this.
day.
Every day he goes to work, and on Saturdays, doesn't go out on Saturday nights anymore because he knows he has a word to deliver on Monday.
Yeah.
And I think if millennials came, and you know what else? He likes input. So
Oh, yeah,
millennials, what do you
Constructive
have?
critique.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think? We're really trying to build our church. I see, and you're an intricate part of this. You know, we want it to be the hip hop church.
Yeah.
You know, when you come there and you do your gospel rap, we're like, everybody's riveted by it. So we'd really like to see more millennials and anybody. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
I just want you to come to church and get a really, really good message.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and that's what we strive to do. We are on YouTube, as you know,
Yep.
on the Modern Word Ministry
Yep.
channel.
Yep.
And so if anyone wants to check them out prior,
Right.
then they can do that. And I think that they'll feel the same way. I mean, you come with your family.
Yep.
You know, and if IC comes, everybody can come. Okay.
Deacon Tom Moore. That's TOMMOORE. You can check out his videos on YouTube, Modern Word Ministries. Again, 2 p.m. services right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's 237 North Stephanie out in Henderson. It's inside the Encounter Church at 2 p.m. And man, like the blessings are flowing, and it's not just monetary, but man, you know, that's a blessing on something that happened for Tom recently because he just trusted God.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He just that made me emotional, but he trusted God, and it came through for him.
It came through.
You know, unexpectedly from a person you like, what? You know, and you know, bless the church to keep renting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And to help put you guys as a family in a better position as well. But then there's an internal blessing, because he leaves you with practical life applications.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you print the copies up, and everybody gets the copy, and you can, follow his lead with the sermon.
For sure.
But also there's points that you then take on with you.
Yes.
For your life application.
For sure.
It's not just for the week. It's for your life application.
Yes.
For you
I love that.
Right? For you
Yes.
to put it into action in your life. And that's every week. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is dope. It's not just scripture. Like, here, do this, and the third, and see your life switch.
That's right.
See your life change.
Yeah.
And so that's
I'm glad to hear you like that. We
Absolutely.
wondered, yeah, that's really good.
That's the modern word for me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And everybody's treated like family and friend. The closer you get to the family, you're like a brother or a nephew or
That's right.
grandson.
I see is my nephew, just yes.
And that's family. And the further you're away, they still treat you with respect and they're kind as a friend. You know what I mean? And so again, you guys that want to utilize your vocals to honor God, to show your love and admiration for God, and you have time at 2 p.m., please visit 237 North Stephanie and just talk to them. They're very approachable, both he, his wife, and his kids, their kids.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And, man, of course, they'll meet with you. They'll talk with you and check out your vocals, and you may be a worship leader.
And can I say this? I see to you. I thank you. I thank God for us meeting you, for our paths crossing, because you have been you've been instrumental in helping us kind of move this along. Like, I would have never thought to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. And I really appreciate your giving us this forum.
Yes.
Where we can spread the word about who we are.
Yes.
Because we are really trying to grow this church.
Correct.
Really are. And I just appreciate, you're coming, you're talking about us. You guys invite Tom to different things. And I want to thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Tom is a very important person in my life. He has been since last summer. And he's really like a mentor now.
Yeah.
Because he my OG. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? He the original gospel gangster.
Right.
And when he's with me, we're like the Blues Brothers or something. You know what I mean? It's like people aren't looking at us weird. You know what I mean? It's not like, what's this young cat doing with this older cat? It's
Right.
like, nah, they belong together.
That's right.
Like, you know what I
That's
mean?
right.
And so shout out to Let's Fry This, and them pulling us together. Tony Terrell, she's the one who said, I think y'all be perfect together. I don't know what.
Well, she had that right for sure.
Right? It was a God ordained thing, and I appreciate her support and Let's Fry This, her and Rochelle. Thank you guys for the connection with Tom, and he's like a life partner of mine, as a real good friend of mine, and we support each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we just keep this thing moving. I was just with him yesterday, and we just going up and down and around, just trying to be in touch, because people are not trying to go to church.
That's right.
I put out the question. I posed the question day before yesterday or so. Do you attend church? Why or why not? And right now we have about 5 minutes, and we're gonna make this the hot topic. So, why or why not? Why do you think that millennials don't go to church?
I had lunch today with a breakfast today with a good friend of mine. She doesn't come because, and she's probably more like me, but because she needs order, she needs ceremony. She told me that when she went to her sister's church, who's Baptist, and they say, "Well, say hi to your neighbor." She says, "I don't want to talk to anybody." You know what I mean? I said, okay, but I don't. All I can say is I take myself back to millennials' age, and I had been churched out.
Okay.
I don't know if that happened to them, but I had been churched out.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, I wasn't into it at all.
Yeah.
I think as I got older and you start getting to your career and everything, I needed to start praying. And then I never, it was still a part of me, church, so I can't, I don't know why they don't come. I think they don't come because they're afraid. That's why I got 2:00, you guys. You can get up and get in there and see if you like it. And I think it's because my grandmother used to do this and my mother used to do this, and it's too regimented for them. But it really isn't regimented.
Right.
They don't know the modern church.
Yeah.
So I think if they just would, I tell my son and my daughter to bring their friends so they can see it. And everybody leaves with a smile on the face, and it's like,
do.
I like it.
They do.
But
Yeah.
I just want them to try it.
Yeah, they're not looking. Okay, so when we say grow, right? You grow based on how you feel.
Yes.
If you want to stay, stay. If you don't. Either way, we are accepting you to come through the door. So
For sure.
really what we're asking is that you just come visit. Just
Yes.
come try it out.
Yes.
And see what we're talking about.
For sure.
Right? And so we're just asking you guys to come visit. What I seen in the comment section is church hurt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I read them. Yes.
That deals with the churched out, but it's really hurt.
Yes.
And so that makes you churched out. I've seen that people don't believe anymore like they used to. Some people have lost their faith.
Yep.
They have lost their religion, so to speak, right? And then some just don't feel like they need to go to a fellowship hall.
For sure. That's a big one.
Right?
Yes.
That they have their one-on-one relationship with God, and that's that. Well, when you believe in the Holy Bible, it speaks on not forgetting the fellowship of the brotherhood.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
And so you don't have to be a member, but don't forsake fellowshipping. Don't forsake getting together with other believers.
Absolutely.
In a place of safety.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Where people are still being killed, for believing all over the world. People are in hiding, and they're in black holes, and they're in prisons and things of that. Voice of the Martyrs is a magazine where people are still dying today for belief in the Holy Bible.
From the beginning of time.
Right? And so we have the privilege in America, freedom of religion, right? To believe how we believe without fear of dying because of it. And so it's dope for us to get together. You know what I mean? And so that's pretty much like the top 5 I could say.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to get my people to just come visit, because people tell me they love Tom. They
I know. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everyone that leaves, it's like has a big smile on their face.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, my listeners, they tell me, man, I like the old guy, I like the old white guy,
The old white guy.
Yeah,
You better not call me old.
They like, oh man, he's real, or man, y'all great together. Man, his word was on point, man. That word was on point, or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, take that 10 minutes, 12 minutes, add another 50 on that, and come kick it. Come hang out. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm rooting for. That's what I'm shooting for. And I'm asking all you guys now, man, just, come get with me. Lady Kim, she's awesome. She's just so chill. Can you tell? She's just chill. She's up to par. She ain't snooty or fancy or any of that. And I'm not saying anybody else is. I'm just saying her characteristics. And so I like her as Lady Kim. Again, she's not, first lady or anything. It's just Lady Kim, and very warm and accepting. And so I would just, ask everybody to come physically touch that, come get a taste of that. You feel me? And the word is real. Again, it's life applications. You leave with something to either think about or something to live by. You know what I mean? So I'm asking y'all to come rock with me. I've asked people, and some people just aren't ready.
Yeah.
They're not ready yet. And so I would say go to his YouTube, Modern Word Ministries, and check it out in the comfort of your own home and shoot them views up You know what I'm saying? Give us
Yeah.
a like, a subscribe, you know what I mean, and check it out. Anything else you want to add to that?
All I would say is I hope I can see some of you guys on Sunday. And, to piggyback on what you said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
That's one of Tom's major quotes. So I hope we can get some of you guys out. And once you get there, you'll never leave. And you'll never leave the same.
Right. What's the 2 things that Tom says?
Oh, wait. Now, why you put me on the spotlight? Like
That's the hot seat
I know,
question.
and I'm going to pray for you.
What's the first one?
Well, it's like 2 things I can do for you. And I'm going to pray for you. Oh, God, but no, it's not it. Oh, Tom, I'm so sorry. And I hear it every Sunday.
It is, but the latter is, and I'm praying for you, but it rhymes. I can't think of what it is. It's all good.
Yeah.
He'll get it to us.
I'll get it. Okay.
It's gonna come to you
It's
when
gonna come to me when I
the
leave.
show off.
Right.
Hey man, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening, man. Please share this with somebody, man. The story of adoption is amazing.
I got it.
Go ahead.
God's going to see you
Through,
and
and
I'm
I'm
going to
praying
pray for
for
you.
you.
Got it.
Hey.
That's
God's
right.
gonna see you through, and I'm
gonna
praying for you. Okay, and make sure that you guys, encourage someone if they're looking for a child, and to go ahead, man, look into that adopting a teenager or older kid because
Yeah.
they need you, right? And I'm appreciative of that. And we didn't even get into her whole story, but her father's an amazing guy. He used to hang out with Martin Luther King
Yeah.
Jr. You feel me? And But we got in there, man. Did you enjoy your time?
I sure did. I'm coming back.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. We have ran out of time. God bless y'all. Love y'all. You know what it is, man. Every Thursday, 12 p.m., Hot Seat with Icy Jones right here on hot7025fm.com. Make sure you follow me on all social media. ICJONEZ. Follow Modern Word Ministries, Deacon Tom Moore, and Kim Moore as well. And tomorrow, my rap mentor right here on Hot 7025, 12 p.m. All right, we out. Peace.